Well, hey guys, it's NavyBlueManga here, back with another how to draw video, and today we'll be focusing on how to use the inking tools that I've been showing you guys in the previous videos. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, so first we'll start off with multiliners. Okay, so multiliners are basically like normal pens, but they don't have like this like glare that normal pens would give, and they're pigmented liners, so they just work better basically. So what you would do basically is just draw with it. It's like a normal pen, anyone could use it basically. If you want to have like a thickness to the line, you would go over the line a bit again and again to get that thickness that normal nib pens would like give off. Also, a thing that I find that is like wrong with multiliners is that when you draw a line, it has like this jagged edge at the end. A way to stop that is to draw just draw a line, and then as you're getting towards the end, you take off pressure gradually so that it ends off in like this nice looking flowing line at the end instead of the jagged edges. Okay, so that's it for multiliners. That's basically all for multiliners. Next we'll go on to G pens. G pens now, they give line variation, good line variation that most people like, and it's easier instead of using multiple layers of multiliners to get that one good variation line that would be easy to achieve with a G pen. So with them you could do big fat lines or like small looking lines. This one isn't really that new, so it wouldn't give you like the smallest lines. One thing you'll need to know when using a G pen is use your whole wrist. Yeah, also don't put too much ink into the holder, because like that would happen. It just flashed out, right? So don't put too much ink. Make sure it goes to just about to that hole that's always on every nib pen. Make sure it's not above the hole. Okay, so use your whole wrist use your whole arm movement to draw when you're drawing with the G pen or any nib pen. It gives a much more flowing looking line, and it gives off a good look. When you're doing like long lines, that's for when you're using long lines, right? And some techniques to help you with line control is, like, if you want thick and thin lines in the same stroke, you would do like this exercise. It's called the swell and ebb technique. You would do a thin line right here, start off with a thin line, and then gradually make it thicker and then end off with a thin line. So it'll look kind of like a diamond shaped line. This helps you with line control, so like when you're drawing a page you don't mess up and give like a big line where it's not needed or a thin line where it's not needed. You could just do like one stroke to get something right. And also something to remember is when you're drawing with a nib pen, you don't like go over the line too much times, right? You normally would just do like one line like this to make it look like a good flowing line, if you want that. If you want a jagged effect, then sure, that would be fine. So this was the G pen. Moving on to the spoon nib pen, or Sanji nib pen, Saji or whatever. It's like the multiliner. It's more stiff and not as flexible as the G pen, so it's good for beginners. If you're just beginning learning, you know, it gives you stiff lines. Everything that applied with the G pen applies with this as well. It's just more stiff. And when you're cleaning off your nib, you would like tissue just to clean off the ink, or if it's dried on, you'd get some water and then use the tissue. Or you could just get some cleaning products from any anywhere, just get some cleaning products and spray it on there and clean out the ink. And also, if you want it to hold more ink in your pen, you like flame it. You just get a lighter and just flame the nib so that there's like a plastic thing on top of it, I've heard. So you just flame it and then it will hold more ink, something like that. I don't do that, but I've heard that somewhere before. So yeah, that's basically it for nib pens. Moving on to brushes and brush pens. Brushes, they basically, you just dip it into the ink and just draw with it. They're good for filling in spaces that you need black with, or like making cool effects. Like Tide Kubo, he uses stuff like that, brushes and brush pens a lot to give a lively look to his lines and his sound effects. Brush pen, this is the same as a brush basically, but it has like a tinier tip, so it's good for doing highlights and hairs, speed lines, like those really black speed lines like this. You know what I mean, right? So and for hair, and good for filling in spots. So yeah, that's basically it for brushes. They give the same lines as G pens and stuff like that. You just need to squeeze down here to make the ink come out, and it will just come out. Yeah. And using a ruler with nib pens, I forgot to tell you guys that. Make sure the edge of the ruler is like a good edge. You normally turn the ruler upside down so you have the top part not touching the paper, because the ink will go under the paper, to make good lines with a ruler. Because like, see, if I turn it flat down, the ink will go under it and then it will just smudge the paper. That's basically the reason for that. So that brings me to the end of the video. Tell me if I left anything out in the comments below. Tell me future things that you guys want to see me do. Comment, rate, subscribe to my channel, NavyBlueManga. Also my manga magazine site. If you guys don't know what that is, check it out. Fan page me, DeviantArt, and I'll see you guys whenever next time I make a video. Hopefully that's tomorrow.